Welcome to another episode of Slay with me, Leigh M. Clark. Today I am here with luminous Liz from the Slaying Orlando book, and obviously much more beyond that, which we'll get into today. I call her a multidimensional healer because there's so many different modalities that she's well trained in. Be it like somatic energy healing, she does Kundalini activation, she does shadow work, she does breath work, that like all of this transformational breath work. So really like her specialty is working with people one-on-one to activate the different types of modalities that work best for them. So welcome to the show today, Liz. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me, Lee. Thank you for having me. So excited.
Yeah, did I miss anything on the litany of different modalities that you have studied?
I mean, I've studied quite a few, I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, a bachelor's degree in forensic science, a master's degree in toxicology, a bachelor's degree in nursing, along with all my other energetic tools that I do. Those are my favorite ones that I've been dealing with the most right now.
And you've recently gone from like healthcare and like I said to life care. So tell me what happened and what are you doing?
I
Or tell
know.
them I kind of know, but
I
tell
will. All right, all right. I'll drop in on the secret of everyone for everyone to
me.
hear. Um, as soon as you came to me, actually, Lee, and offered this beautiful opportunity for me to be in the chapter for Slaying Orlando, it's weird how the universe kind of like open portals when you make really uncomfortable decisions, you know? Because at first, when you first asked me, I'm like, why the hell would I do this? Like, what do I got to share? I don't have anything. Like, how am I important? And I stopped and I reflected, and I'm like, you know something? Why not? Like, why can I not be that person? Why can I not share my story? Why can I not speak my truth? Screw it and do it type energy, right? The minute I did that, it was like a download. Like if freaking the universe sent me a message and I had a moment, it told me to walk away. It told me to make the big decision and walk away from the hospital. So I officially transitioned away from the hospital and I'm solely diving into my work right now and just being present for everyone who is willing to receive this kind of medicine that I got to offer.
I so love that for you. I love that because I took 2 years of interviewing hundreds of women around the country before I had the courage to leave my job. So the fact that you could activate that quickly, and also I only learned this from my friend Yasmin, who's in the New York book, who's one of the most woke 31-year-olds you'll ever meet, and she called it a quantum leap. And I do feel like that's a moment that you had because by the time she had showed up for brunch, I had seen all the work you've done, right? So I had seen like how deep you are into all these practices. So I was fascinated. I'm looking for stories that are interesting, that are like leaving a mark. The work you do clearly changes the trajectory of people's lives. And so to know you were still balancing, I know the feeling I was too. I love that you just walked into it because like I said, it's taken me 20 plus years to walk into it. And now it's like, I feel with this project, and you probably relate, whoever it's meant for, if they're manifesting me, it's not a matter of like me choosing, it's beyond my like span of control. And for anybody who thinks this is like super woo woo, apologies, but it really is. It's like, if this is what I'm called to do, and this is where I'm being led to serve, and this is how I'm led to serve, who this message reads and who just be aligns with this is beyond me. Like, and that's the end of ego. Wouldn't you agree? Isn't that kind of like,
100%,
yeah.
100%. It has to do, like we talked a lot about this, Lee. It all has to do with a vibrational frequency match. When you start doing the energetic work for yourself and you start expanding and you start actually going deep within yourself and start knowing yourself, start giving light to the shadows that make you who you are. You have highs and you have lows, but understanding and working with it and accepting it and embodying it is like the most powerful, huge transformation that you can do. So when, like, perfect example, like you, when you started from New York and now you're in Florida, all the transformations that you have gone through, how many doors and opportunities opened up for you because you were an energetic vibrational match for the frequency that you were calling in. So like you said, right? All these beautiful women that you have surfacing all around all these different chapters that you're creating are a vibrational match for the frequency that you're emitting.
That
And
part.
that and that's what ends up happening. I don't look for my people. My people or just like anyone in general, right? They find me. Everything just flows to me because I'm in that state of receptivity. So what I put out, the universe grants it back to me, and as woo-woo as it is, it's real life. It's life, right? Everything is frequency, So it's like what I put out, I give and I get and I receive, and then I expand even more and I explore and I expand even more.
I'm going to teach people two tips on that. One, the only time that does not work is when you're being disingenuous. Okay. So if you're people pleasing and you're trying to make everyone happy and you're putting up with crap you don't want to put up with and you're putting up with treatment you don't want to put up with and you're not a victim, but you're a victim of all these crappy people, you're not going to manifest the things. That's not going to happen because energetically, and I'll tell you like the easiest way I've gotten down to it. And I remember being on a retreat in the spring and I was like, listen, I'm an energetic 8.2. All right. I try to hang out with 6 and above energetically. If you're feeling 6 or below, like maybe take some time in your room, do your thing. Because if you stop taking the words and the attitude, that whatever the topic is that people are talking about, and assign them a number from 1 to 10, be careful what your energetic ring looks like, because when you're energized and you feel like and if you're feeling like you're a 6, find a 7, find an 8, find somebody who's going to bring you up. And I think that that's so important because to your point, maybe it's like whatever you want to call it, frequency, vibration, alignment. When you're at peace, when you're entirely who you are, good, bad, and indifferent, when you accept that you're perfect just the way you are, then things can flow. If you are trading you for other people, what they want, if you're making yourself uncomfortable to make somebody else comfortable, you cannot receive what's meant for you because you're misaligned, right? So have you seen people how have you seen people transform out of that? Like how have you watched that happen?
I have watched the biggest transformation come through with people who, for one, say yes on being authentic and raw and truthfully unapologetic of who the hell they are. So it's like taking away that mask. We put on so many masks: mask of a mother, mask of a sister, mask of a daughter, mask of a teacher, mask of a nurse, mask of all these masks that you put on. And in every situation, many people shift for, let's say, the room that they get in. And every moment that you shift and every mask that you continuously keep putting on, you're taking a piece of yourself away. So it's allowing people to find a place by, think about it as like, I assist you in calibrating, like fine tuning your body to receive information in an easier way so you can start seeing your own information with like a magnifying scope and giving you your freaking voice back. So I've seen it in so many women on being able for them to speak out their own truth, to speak who they are, especially when it comes to like, the relationships and their marriage and stuff. You know, it it's a game changer, and it's like the most rewarding thing to see a woman being able to speak again from here, from a genuine
Yeah.
place, like speaking from their heart of who they actually are and being raw about it, being freaking authentic about it and not shying away for trying to please, like you say, people pleasing, trying to please others, trying to be what the social media wants them to be, trying to be what, let's say, their spouse wants them to be, their family wants them to be, breaking all those barriers and
Yes.
finding comfort and love within yourself and not really giving a shit at the end of the day what other people think, feel, or say about you.
That part. And it is a caterpillar, like butterfly transition that people have to go to, where you have to go to a place where you get still and you be with self. And that's really difficult. So I did a whole TED talk called Self-Loathing as a Motherfucker. And it's all about escapism. Because that is like, so if you're not in a line, you don't like your life, you don't like your job, you don't like your spouse, you don't like your like situations, right? That is all in your life, and then you're trying to get out of that. You can't get out of it with the same mind that created it. So something that you're really good about too is the shadow work and like unearthing the things that are in your way. But I remember when I first was by myself for the first time, not serving everyone in my life, and I'm like, I don't even know what I like on my pizza. Like, I have no idea. I've never hung out with me. And if any time I hung out with me, I was trying to knock her out. I was like, where's the wine? Like, whatever. Now I don't even drink. Like, I don't need to escape my life because I had to deconstruct the whole thing and then build a life I don't need to escape from. Because, but it's never going to happen easily, right? It's like
No, not easy at all. I mean, I'm on the same boat as you, for the longest time. Like I said, I worked on the ambulance for 10 years and seeing the trauma, seeing all the just the darkness of people's worst moments in life, people's most tragic moments in life, and eating it and absorbing it and eating and absorbing it. And that's exactly what I did. I loathed in numbing my pain away, drank my misery away because I didn't know of any other outlets at that time. Nobody told me, hey, Liz, if you try a modality of just connecting to your breath, consciously connecting to your breath, you can truly like expand and escape from this this hell that you have created within your own self, right? It wasn't until like years after, actually 10 years after, of me being in those dark spaces where I started finding other alternative ways, and it started with meditating. And obviously, I'm freaking a triple sag. I'm very crazy. My mind is like la 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 la. So like sitting down in like a meditative position like this and quieting my mind, that shit wasn't happening for me. That doesn't work. And that's when I started bumping into breath work. And breath work is an active form. You're moving, you're breathing, you're energetically connected to music. It's a different flow state. So for people who are overactive in their minds, it allows them to actually go deep within because it doesn't allow this to control and you're more
Right.
tapped into this. So yeah, 100%. It's like stepping into the most uncomfortable spaces, but knowing how good it can be once you pass that point of uncomfortability.
Yeah, and the pride that comes with that, right? It's like, even when you're in like a bad relationship, you're not really mad at the other person, you're mad at yourself for accepting and tolerating what you tolerate, right? So all these little like exchanges we make and we think just to keep others happy, and like we're slowly like disservicing ourselves, disservicing. So we get so far away from ourselves sometimes. And also inspecting, sorry, the past, it sucks, it's fine. I'm not like wah wah wah, but everybody has their trauma, everybody has their childhood stuff. Children are children and they don't understand all the things.
Yeah.
Flawed individuals raising flawed individuals. That's all. And it's nobody's fault. Maybe it is, maybe you want to build it, whatever, however that unpacks for you, but addressing it, unpacking it, examining it, allowing that to be seen from a different lens. Even I've re-examined my childhood through the lens of being a parent now. And now I
Yeah.
have a different lens on it. And where can I give grace to others and where can I learn and all that? But once you kind of unpack, they say the only way to the other side is through. And I think people get scared off by shadow work. And I don't think, because it sounds like, oh, you're going to go into dark spirit land. It's not that. It's like you're really going to deal with the things that are silently
Yeah.
reducing your joy because you have limiting beliefs because something was taught to you. You have an uncomfortable fear in you because of something that happened to you. So do you feel like I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but are you able to get people to kind of like speak about all their traumas and like unpack that stuff?
So yes, and I think most importantly, it has to do with the container that you set up. I create a very safe space to where people feel they feel comfortable to trust me, to allow them to go into those spaces, to go into it's just taking accountability for your own shit and how you can process your own stuff so then you can start breaking the generational patterns of what your mother and your grandmother and your great grandmother has taught you, right? It's taking full accountability on addressing those programs that you're trying to break from. And in the container that I create, whether it's through Kundalini activations, whether it's through breath work, whether it's through some somatic, because I infuse all of them together when you're doing a session with me, you get to break through as much as you're willing to go through. It's allowing yourself to surrender into that space by you trusting, most importantly, yourself. Because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with me. I don't heal people. I'm just your guide to allow you to see easy on the other side. So it's creating a container to where people feel safe and supported so they can absolutely go into those unknown places or more uncomfortable spaces to them so then they can actually see themselves for who they really are and start taking accountability for the things that they have done, maybe the things that they have not done, but they still carry within them. So at the end of the day, you're still fully responsible for all this stuff in order for you to start breaking through.
That part, and that's a really tough pill to swallow because even having gone through some difficult things, and like nobody wants to be the victim, right? Like but I had to ask myself, how am I, what is my part? Because that's all I can take care of, right? So that's all. And if it's accepting less than I deserved in the past, I have to own that, and I have to recognize that I'm not the victim of anybody else. I'm the victim of my own bad decisions, right? And so that's that accountability. But it doesn't hurt. The guilt and shame shit, let it go, guys. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Go. If you need to go to church to one of those boxes with the priest on the other side, tell them all the things. Let it go. Let it go, because it does not serve you. The past is already established. There are no options there, right? There are no options behind you. And so, but to acknowledge, right? And to also acknowledge where places where you maybe didn't do the wrong thing, but you learned. You're learning, you're growing and becoming the best version of yourself. And I truly believe that grace is that thing where we give ourselves space for being human and for learning, right? We're doing our best on this planet, and most of us are doing our best, and we think what we do is right. But I really think getting out of your head and also getting out of other people. I'm like you. I can't meditate very well. I'm in the salt float bath thing going like, think of nothing, nothing, nothing. And then like, why am I in here? Like I can't. But what I realized about mindfulness, because mindfulness is another thing, like shadow work, people are like, I don't know what that is. It's just it's determining what you want your thoughts to be instead of succumbing to the thoughts that are coming to you. Like you don't need, there's a million things coming to you. Deciding what you want to think about, when you want to think about it, how you want to think about it, deciding to take a different narrative that's more positive than maybe the way you're feeling, because you need to get that energetic vibration up. So what are some of the techniques you give people as they're on this journey?
On this journey, I tell everyone, for one, like you said, grace is such a big word that I personally think a lot of people don't really take into accountability and give themselves, right? I always say, like, your mistakes are your wisdoms. All the mistakes that you have gone through in your life, those are all like little nuggets of wisdom that make you the person who you are today, right? You wouldn't have changed or become the person who you were today if you didn't go through all the bullshit that you had to go through, right? So 100% with reprogramming. I always, always, always talk to my clients about changing the perspective or changing the lens of how they see their life, how they want to see their life, who do they want to embody, and giving themselves a lot of words of affirmation. So I always tell them something I always do. I mean, I carry it with me. I have like post-it notes. I have them on my mirrors in the bathroom. I have it everywhere where I see the most things that I'm calling in, positive words of affirmation that that I genuinely believe and receive. Like one of them that I have right here, it says, "My work is of high service and it's worthy of compensation. And I am giving my gifts to the world, and I am well compensated for all the gifts that I give." It's right next to my workspace. It's a way of reprogramming your thought pattern, reprogramming your mind on canceling those negative thoughts, canceling those limiting beliefs, canceling the I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not rich enough, or that's impossible because, I can barely make it with the amount of money that I have. Is changing the outlook of what you have around you, and most importantly, what you're carrying within you. So then you can truly start making, and you'll start seeing how the universe will start moving everything and working with you if you change your thought patterns, your beliefs, and how you carry your own energy throughout your day. Because, like you said, the past is the past. The past already happened. There's no way we can control it. The future is yet to be determined. The only thing you have ultimate control of is the now. And
Right.
being present in the now is all that you should be focused on, not in what's going to happen tomorrow, not in what's going to happen a year down from now. It's being focused and present in now. How are you happy with yourself now? What are you doing for even yourself to make yourself happy? What are you changing so then what happened in the past doesn't happen again? It's like giving yourself those cues so you can remind yourself when you wake up in the morning, the first thing to do, like I do a gratitude list. I write things that I'm grateful for, things that I have that I'm grateful for, and things that I'm calling in that I would be so grateful for when I receive it. And it's allowing myself to stay in that frequency. And believe me, Leigh, it's not like, oh my God, I freaking shit rainbows and butterflies every single day. I have moments of grief, I have moments of sadness, and allowing when those moments come to come, I address them and I feel them, but I don't allow it to consume me. I stop it
Right.
at besides a certain point. I stop it after a certain point and I say, "Okay, Liz, you're I feel you, I see you, but that's not true."
Right.
Like, let's cancel that. That's not true. What's another way where I can look at it in a different way? Like God, universe, allow me to see things in a different way. And I shift myself out of that state.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's really instead of mind altering substance, it's altering your mind substantially. I mean, that's it. And it's also mental sit-ups, right? So I remember reading The Secret back in 2008. And I had to, one, like I used to say, oh, I can't afford that. It became that's not a priority right now, right? Things like that, little negotiations in the way that you speak and
Yes,
being recognizing your thoughts, being aware of your thoughts is the first level of consciousness, just being aware of what you're thinking and then deciding, wait, maybe I could say that a different way. I spent an entire year counting how many times a day I said he this, she that, or they this, because it meant I was living outside of myself. Why was I so talking about other people? Not that you should be self-involved. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about the gossip, the can you believe my boss said, can you believe they, all that, because it's not productive. You're never going to learn through that. You cannot change other people. The world is not fair. Not everyone thinks like you. I mean, lessons I've had to like learn over like a number of years, but it's still mental sit-ups. You have to continue to remind yourself there's
absolutely.
no more important like part of your body to work out than really your mind. And it is easier than it seems because it just requires you to be aware. I mean, just aware. And it gives you something more positive to do. Listen, you can choose anxiety and excitement are the same emotion, right?
Absolutely.
So you can decide what like, but to your point earlier, I think when you're in that space, allowing yourself to be in that space, but also not listening to, the people who don't see your worth or don't see your value and don't understand. And they will come, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to align yourself with the right clients. There'll be people who you like wish were aligned with you that aren't. It's a blessing, it's a redirection, it's not a rejection. But taking your ego out again, like it's not about me, that's just not on their path right now, but you can't let those moments make you forget about the six people who were so thrilled and excited and loved it. It's just allowing that universe alignment, like just and not. It's actually relief too if you're one of those high wired people who thinks you can control all the things. When you start just being like, can I really control this? Can I really control what she says or what they do? Or no, and then you just, you assign yourself to something else, right? So like
Absolutely.
how is this in your day-to-day? Do you like being, because like clearly you're an empath, so how do you create spiritual boundaries in your life?
Listen, that's a very good one because that took a lot of training and practice, to be quite honest with you. Um, when you vibrate a certain frequency, believe you and me, the universe does a lot of the work for you. It doesn't allow certain energies or just certain people to even come around you. And that had a lot to do with, I mean, talking about friends, talking about family. Some had to leave. And with love and light, I had to give it grace and allow them to go because at the same time, as much as I want to grow, if you're not here for my growth and expansion and you're not here to support me in a positive way, then at this moment in time, thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
And I continue on my way. When I enter rooms, or let's say I go to functions and all that, where people are, because I mean, I can feel, happy people, I can feel very sad people. I just shift my way around the people that I'm most connected to, and the ones that I'm most connected to are the ones that are obviously in the same state that I'm in, you know? Even when it comes to when people come and I do group events, when I do group events, you don't know who the heck is coming into that space, right? I clear and I clean everyone and I set the intention of just love and understanding to come into the space. So in the space that everyone is going to be breathing into, in the space that everybody's going to be connecting into and working energetically through, it's the intention that I've already set. It's the boundary that I've already created to where negative, unwanted, dark demeanor, any of that kind of stuff doesn't exist. because I already created a boundary in a wall that I choose to not have that kind of vibration or that kind of energy anywhere in my space. And those are not the people that I want to attract or the people that I want to energetically surround myself around. So I kind of like set that mantra or that like force field. And the universe blessed me in a way where I don't have that kind of stuff around me, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, and I love that you spoke on that because that was one of the most difficult things I faced. I think when I decided to say, like, I just hit a wall, right? Personally, I had gone to like the bottom of like wanting love and wanting everyone. I wanted the whole world to be nice so that I could be adjusted. Like I was trying to fix everybody else instead of myself. And going through that in the beginning, I lost some really significant long-term friendships. And I've been, they're always going to cross my mind. I'm always going to think about it. But looking back reflectively, the person I was at that time who wanted everyone to love me attracted a lot of people who just needed me for them. So when I went through stuff and you want to find out who your real friends are, go through some shit. Okay.
That's the
Go,
best
go
part.
through, go through some stuff
Go through
because
your awakening.
yeah, go through a downturn, right? Go through a downturn and see who really is about you because the people who are not about you. And I never wanted to know people weren't about me. I wanted to just like, I never asked for anything from anyone because I was afraid to find out they wouldn't do it for me. So when I needed to lean, trust exercise, right?
Oh my
But
God.
again, to your point, I mean, I'm talking about a vibrational difference in who I am now and the women in my circle now and the women who I'm speaking to on the daily basis. They're not in small town gossip. They're not talking about filters and dumb stuff. Like they're not, and I'm not knocking. I'm not because it's just a personal evolution.
It is.
If you love talking shit, go talk shit, man. That's okay.
Talk shit somewhere else though.
Just
Talk
don't
shit
sit with
somewhere else.
me. Like, don't sit with me. I'm not going to talk shit. Like,
Yeah.
don't say it. I won't say it about you if I won't say it to you. There's no point. And I
Yeah.
think my hope is that everybody's on that journey, but I know a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are happy with the way they are. It would be egotistical of me to think everyone should think and feel as enlightened as I think and feel. I think it's enlightened to somebody else and might be like, what kind of like, all right, whatever she said.
What
We're
kind of
all here
brother
to have
you
a
are?
very different experience and allowing those things to grow. I think just like in nature, sometimes you have to prune something back for it to really bloom. And for
Yeah.
everything I've had to walk away from, what's come in has been 10 times what was in my rear view, it's still hard though. It's still, we want to take everyone with us the whole
Me
time,
too. Of
you
course we
know?
do. 'Cause for one, we're women.
Yeah.
Women are mothers in spirit, right? This is what we were created in this universe for. It's for the creation, it's for the mothering energy. I would love to help and heal the entire world and the whole world come together in a space of love, bliss, and harmony. But the reality is, not everybody's ready for it. Not everybody wants it. Everyone has their own time and space for their own evolution. And you just have to give grace. There's some people who are 100% open to trying breath work or trying an activation of Kundalini. There's other people that are terrified of it, terrified, thinking because they see all this content on Instagram of like vomiting and convulsing, and they're like, oh my God, it's like a freaking human exorcism that you're going through. Oh, I don't want that to be me. So they become terrified of it. And I'm like, at the end of the day, like, let's be real. All you're doing is breathing.
Right,
You
right.
breathe. That's what you do. That's what you do to survive. You need to breathe to survive. You're just putting a conscious intent behind your breath. We automatically breathe because I mean we have to, right? It's part of like our autonomic nervous system in our body. It's just something naturally, innately that we do, for us to survive. However, it's very different when you intentionally put an intention behind it, when you set a purpose and a meaning of what it is, what you're trying to achieve at the end. So, 100%, it's not an easy journey. And I wish everyone can come along this process and go through this evolution with me. But I have learned that I have to give those people grace. And
Yeah.
that includes some of the closest people in my life. I love and I admire them and I respect them. But just at this present time, we're just not energetically aligned. So
Yeah. And
I just,
especially when you're in the incubating on your own thing. And I always talk about Sarah Noble Saint. She's in Boston. We love her. She's a young influencer, a nurse. travel nurse. I think she's travel nurse. I might be wrong. Sorry, Sarah. But basically, when I met her, she talked about her goal was to be an influencer content creator. She was really stepping into that space. Her parents had immigrated to the US, and for them, it was like, how would you take your nursing degree and you're going to become a content creator? I don't get it. So she said, I really needed to not talk to them while I pursued my dream because I
Yeah.
couldn't really have two sets of people doubting me in my head. I had to fight my own doubts, let alone sitting around people who had them. And I
That's
activated that
happening.
when my mom had come to visit. And I'm not saying she's not supportive, but I said, listen, like if you have any fear around me going out onto my own, I need you to like keep that to yourself because I have to be all in on like success is it. And I can't listen to external noise. And I don't want to have to put you in that pile of anything because she worries about things. My mom worries, like
Of
she's a
course, she's your
mom.
mother.
She's a mom, they worry. So I'm just like, if you have that feeling of worry, like let's just not discuss it. Because for me, I need to preserve this little thing I got. It's like having the ember of a fire. And you're like,
Yeah.
like just don't let anybody blow that shit out. Like you got to get it going. And it takes a while in the beginning because you're still building that trust in yourself that it's going to be okay and trust in yourself. But like you said before, some people are not ready to receive, and that's okay. It's very, very painful to watch people block their blessings, like probably one of the most painful things. But speaking of blessings, you are a blessing. I'm so glad that you came today. This is my other Northeast transplant. So she's really
I
like
know.
international and national, like enigma, but home base now being Central Florida. And everybody can read your story in Slaying Orlando, which comes out December 16th. But tell them how to find you online, and we'll also put it down here.
So you guys can follow me on social media. I'm Lizbeth Jimenez in Facebook, and in Instagram, I have two handles, Tox Chemist, TOXCHEMIST, and at Luminous Liz LLC. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and my TikTok is also Luminous Liz LLC. Everything is going to be transitioned to Luminous Liz LLC. I'm just in the process of making all that transfers over. But thank you once again. Leigh, like you're amazing. Don't stop what you're doing. You are an inspiration for us women and giving us our voice back, giving power to our body, to our mind, and to our soul in the most nourishing way. And that to me is the greatest gift that you can bless any woman with. And I'm so happy that you gave me this opportunity so I can speak and I can shine and I can show myself to the entire world as me.
Love that. And if anybody needs to raise their energy vibe, like get yourself with Luminous Liz, spend some time with her, book a session, even if it's just an intro to even get just some conceptual stuff you can start working on. It's worth it because all of us, the world out there is kind of like 6.3-ish.
Yeah, now
On a
we
good day,
we have
4.7
the
most
10
days.
vibe.
So we gotta bring them in. And if you really feel like, hey, maybe there's things I could research about myself, even if it's not with Liz, have the courage to examine the parts of yourself and your life that you don't love, and
Absolutely.
and have the courage to face that, and then make decisions that you're really excited about, and then watch what unfolds. I mean, we're on the journey, you're on the journey, I'm on the journey, everyone's on the journey. It's really like, I'll put it this way, we all get to write our own stories, right? And so I love the story you're writing. I'm so glad you're all in, and I hope everyone like me wants to see you shine and support you. So thanks for being here. Stay on. Everyone else, bye. See you next time.
Bye.